Well, I got my Dutch Brews. Got my cigar. It's an Oscar Leaf Maduro and Robusto. Oh, wait, am I a liar? This is a Toro Vitola. Got a little extra. So, with Oscar cigars, this is actually the wrapper. They don't come in cellophane. I didn't want to try the cigar for a really long time. I was like, this just looks messed up. But it's quite a treat. Smoking's not good for you, by the way. Or am I promoting smoking? Yeah, see, it's like a wrapper. Like all that's tobacco. Even this is like made of tobacco too. I think they used a leaf. There's no cellophane. Check that out. That is the wrapper. We got Solar Woods. What's going on? I'm just trying to enjoy a cigar here today. And this is what it looks like after you take it out of the wrapper. And what I should do, since we got a bunch of rain, let me put my citronella candle on. Because with rain comes mosquitoes. So we got a little citronella candle. Let's put that down there. Hope everyone's staying dry today. I was driving around this morning and I had that tornado touchdown and I saw some of the damage, man, where the tornado started over here. And it tore up like a big oak tree. Like this tree, there's like a massive tree that it just looked like it got shredded. And then there were some fences taken out too. We got really super lucky, man. It was way too close for comfort. I'm gonna do a straight cut.
Did you put two blankets in the washing machine?
No. Got a straight cut. Actually, I kind of angled that. But yeah, the crazy thing like down here is the people that were doing videos of the tornadoes. They're in their cars, filming, and driving towards it. Like I was explaining that to people, I was like, this is either like Darwin's theory in effect, survival of the fittest, or it's like a moth to flame scenario. Moth to flame is like even though the moth, like, I don't think the moth knows it's gonna die, but it just can't resist the flame, and it just goes to the flame and dies. Luckily, nobody was killed, but still have a lot of water down here trying to find its ways through the rivers and creeks. We got lakes filling up. I'm doing a soft flame. We got Roger in the house. What's going on? Roger, Roger. I'm doing a soft flame. The cigar is this Oscar Leaf Maduro. Is one of my rotation cigars. Like, I will buy these here and there. I should just buy a box and stick them in my humidor. Not bad. Not too expensive. But yeah, no rain today. No rain for the rest of the week. It's gonna be hot as hell and humid as. It is gonna be humid. So that means our heat index, even though if we're getting towards like 95, our heat index will probably be like 110, which is no fun. We got Janice, we got Roger, Solar, hello, hello. I'm just doing a random live. Just enjoy my cigar, or try to, and enjoy some coffee. I got my hummingbird feeders up. I haven't seen any hummers this morning. Even after the tornado, after the tornado, there was like 4 the next day that they were like fighting for food. So I know that during storms they can get really hungry. They literally have to eat like every 2 hours. They have like some of the fastest metabolisms in the world. Actually, they have I think the fastest metabolism out of any animal in the world. Roger, thank you for the gold medal. Because I'm number 1. You know what's crazy? Like I do this more for like a journal, like a journal vlog for myself, because I don't think I'm really good at diaries. But I was watching some other channels, and there was a dude. I would never do this, but this one guy's like 500 pounds, and all he does is like let people roast him, and he hops on the treadmill, and he's got like 500,000 followers, and he's been monetized for like the last 13 months. And he seems like a nice dude. He's just like really big. But at what point are you trading your dignity for money? I guess if you want money, it don't matter, right? So I don't know. I guess a guy doesn't need to work, but man, if you're like 500 pounds, I mean, I know I'm overweight, but man, if you're like 500 pounds, man, you're probably not gonna live that long anyways. Probably use that money for like getting healthy or something. But I'm not trying to crap on his channel, but I'm just like trying to dissect like where that guy's coming from, or maybe where he's at. But I think all of us need to do that. Sometimes we just need to step back and like look at situations and see what we need to do to make things better. And sometimes you just get caught in the routine and it becomes a blur. I got some pretty pink sunglasses. Man, did anyone vote on Chewy? Should Chewy come out? Chewy's inside. Oh, there we go. We got a hummingbird. Let's see if I can get that for you guys. See them to the left? Beep, right there. And they're gone. It's a good cigar. Oscar Leaf Maduro. Whenever you go to buy cigars, um, mm, 1 second, I got my neighbors. And I scared away a hummingbird that came over to my feeder over here. Whoopsies. They'll come back. They zoomed over here and then they like saw me, checked me out. Sometimes they'll come over here and they'll like try to figure out what I am. Or I guess if I have food. Oh, they came back and another one fought him and he flew away. Yeah, but a good sign of a good cigar is like if you go to a cigar shop and a lot of them are gone, like that's a good sign. 'Cause people are buying them. Y'all ready for some heat?
I know.
We got lucky. You see where that tornado started?
Yes.
Right in Tanglewood right here.
Yes.
And it's crazy because it started here and it ended up all the way at my old job in the Rim at the building over of Talavera Ridge or whatever. But we just got back. We got some coffee and, you know, between that the Chicken Express and like AutoZone, there's like that little church there that always has food drives and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They have a huge oak tree, probably bigger than the one that Felicia has, just tore up, just destroyed. And then across the street, the like whole fence is missing.
Really got lucky.
But yeah, they got clobbered over here, and we didn't get any warnings.
I know.
No warnings. And then the day after, they're like, "Oh, there's tornado warnings for southeast San Antonio, like China Grove and La Vernia."
Yeah.
Nothing out there, and another one formed over there in Alamo Ranch. So all the weather people are like, "We can't predict anything. This is a flash,
I know.
whatever." I'm like,
Well,
okay.
whatever happened to just like a pretty rain?
Right. Well, for the next month, this is gonna be the hottest part of the year. So
I believe it.
yeah, I wanted to trim some trees today, but everything's so wet and the ground's so muddy. I don't think I could even get like stable like to
That's true.
cut anything.
Yeah.
It may just have to wait. So
A day or two.
well, they're coming on Monday.
What's that?
The tree people. Yeah, I got a chainsaw if y'all need it too.
That's why I keep seeing
Yeah, they usually just throw it on the ground over here for me. But yeah, they're coming on Monday.
Okay.
And I have a chainsaw if y'all need it with an extender and all kinds of stuff. I may just do some little stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just the ground's too wet and the roof is too. I don't know. I'm probably too big to get on the roof anyway. So, but I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Just be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all take it easy. Enjoy your weekend.
Yep, you too.
Yeah, I was talking to my neighbor. I smoked many Monte Cristos. Yeah, Monte Cristo's a good one, man. H Upman's. Sorry, I was talking to my neighbor. Normally, like, I'm not gonna like film me talking to my neighbor, but yeah, my neighbor came up. Monte Cristos are good. That's a solid brand that's been around forever. Probably one of the first cigars that I ever tried, like back in the late '90s. H Upman's. I haven't smoked. I've only had a couple of H Upman's, but um, I really couldn't tell you like which are the good ones. I think the last H Upman I had was called like the Banker or something like that, with this big gold wrapper on it. Um, Same thing with H Upman. I think they've been around for a while too. That's like one of the old like classic blends. Yeah, it's funny. I have my bird bath hanging from my tree. I've seen one bird go to that bird bath in the last 3 weeks, but I've seen squirrels drink from it, and I've just seen a lizard drink out of it. So that's good. You get some clean water. The priest gave you your first cigar. Wow. So I grew up like hardcore Roman Catholic, like altar server confirmed everything. I'll just be transparent with that. I'm not practicing. I do consider myself Christian, but um, back then a lot of man. I think like every priest smoked. Lots of them smoked. Like growing up in the '80s, I just remember them. There's one that smoked pipes, which they kind of smelled good, like the pipe cigar. And then a lot of other ones would smoke cigarettes. And I remember there was this one priest, like, and I was an altar server, and I would have to hold the book up, so for them to read it like this, like hold it up with my hands, and his breath from the coffee, and as I drink coffees and smoke a cigar, his breath was like, it was bad. It was like dragon breath, like I was getting blasted. It was like instead of him saying a prayer, he should have just said like Dracarius and blasted me with like his bad smell. Dracarius. Dracaris. There's a lot of good priests, man. I mean, there's a lot of good priests out there. I've met a lot of good ones. One of my favorites, he's still in Zambia right now. He's been doing missionary work for decades. He started some missionaries in Zambia before he came back. He was my confirmation sponsor. Really good man. Um, and he's been in Zambia probably for the last like 30 years. Um, the thing is with this order, I've tried to like find them to see if I can write letters, like even donate a couple bucks, but the order is very doesn't seem like they allow you to get a hold of people like that. Um, I've seen some like newsletters with him in the news, but it'd be nice to talk to him again or email or something. I think that would be kind of cool. I got another hummingbird just tried to come by to eat, and another one beat him up. Like, bro, I just want to eat, and I got a third one right there. I'll show you guys in a second. There's some activity now. I haven't seen the babies from my nest box. There's 4 babies. I have heard them like around here, but I haven't been hearing them today. So I hope they're okay. The thing that sucks is like birds in nature, like wild birds. They have a very high mortality, which means a lot of them die. Like for every egg you see in a clutch, let's say if there's 5. So for instance, like out of this nest box, there was 5 eggs. There's 1 egg that I see in there that hasn't hatched. 4 hatched, 4 left the nest. I witnessed 4 fly out of there. They all flew off. So the 4 birds that hatched that flew out, maybe one of them will make it to adulthood. Nature's not kind, especially for animals. But I do still hear a lot of birds, and that's good that the birds you hear like are still singing, because that means they feel safe. Like if you ever go into a forest and there's like no birds singing, that's like not a good sign. Like animals are in tune into the earth. They have senses that we don't. And I forgot to ash. So the ash fell on me. Let's see. Money Milk Madness. In New York, we get fat starling birds that beat up cardinals but are terrified of blue jays. Blue jays are the assholes of the bird world. Blue jays are assholes. And that's crazy you say that starlings mess with the cardinals, because cardinals are pretty tough. They will bite, and they will bite hard. They fight really hard. Like cardinals are a little spunky. We used to have a lot of starlings around here. I don't see starlings anymore though. What's funny, I didn't know this until maybe the last couple of years, but starlings can talk and they can mimic. Like they can say words and talk. Like, if you don't believe me, look it up. Starlings talking. But blue jays are the assholes of the bird world. Mostly because what they do is they go to other birds' nests, kill the other bird's nest eggs, lay their eggs, and so not only have they killed another bird's clutch of eggs, but they make that bird raise their young. So you'll see like baby blue jays getting raised by whatever bird that just got its eggs off. Ten starlings? Man, that's nuts. 10 starlings versus a cardinal, yeah, that's not going to end well. You know what, another crazy bird? I know lots about birds, but crows. Crows and ravens. They're super smart, and they're big. It was funny because my wife was driving with our youngest daughter, and she saw like it was either a crow or a raven, and she was like, "Bok bok chicken." Yeah, just an observation. I got you. Yeah, crows and ravens can get big. They're almost chicken sized. They're large. They're super smart. They can also mimic. I think it's illegal to own crows, though, too. Like, people learn how to train crows to steal money. Like, a crow will steal money I guess no one really uses cash money anymore, but you can train a crow to steal and then just give it a treat and this will steal shit all day for you. But there's major differences, like between the two, more so the behavior and where they live and how they group. Um, Between crows and ravens, I still can't tell the difference. I've tried to like look up side by sides, like juxtaposition pictures of a crow versus a raven, and it's still difficult for me. It's just very minor. But if you, I'm trying to remember which one's which now. I don't want to tell you wrong, but like crows and ravens, like one lives by itself and it can be in parking lots, and the other one lives with a group and prefers like wooded areas and trees. So there's one that's a loner, there's one that goes in groups, there's one that goes in the city, and there's one that goes in wooded areas. I'm guessing the crow. I'm guessing the crow would be by itself and in cities, and ravens would be in flocks and wild area. Is my guess, but I might be wrong. Crows and ravens truly intelligent. I agree. If you're kind to one, they'll become your friend. Absolutely. If you're mean to one, lifetime enemies. 100%. A man once had thousands of ravens at his funeral. 2 people showed. I don't know, man. People suck. I'd rather have ravens too. But there's a lot of good people in the world too. There's a lot of crappy ones. So I guess I was right on the ravens. If you said all the ravens showed up and they were in a group, ravens and forest wooded in groups, and then crows by themselves in the city. Does that sound about right? Yeah, funeral will be on the news at that point, for real. So I need to find or figure a way to cook. We got a chuck roast steak in the fridge, and I need to cook it today. So should I make carne asada, or should I do like a pot roast with like carrots and potatoes, maybe like an onion? What do y'all think? If I do pot roast, I need to throw it in right now. That stuff's gonna take like 5,000 years. See, I've already been on for 30 minutes. I probably need to start looking up recipes before my life flashes before my eyes. And people in this house revolt. But if I make yummy food, they'll be happy. You know what sucks? Aside from vacuums? I went to the post office today. I sent some packages to my little brother. And they used to have like the small flat rate boxes that was like any weight, whatever. It used to be $12. Now it's like 34 bucks per box. The guy was like $68. I was like, what? Thought it was supposed to be like 24, 2 for 12. Nope. Cost of stamps went up too. It's almost like $1 now to send like mail. It used to be like 10 cents. Post offices run like shit though. They lose money. Like if post office was a private sector company that have gone bankrupt like many moons ago. It's just run like shit, just like anything else. Just like this shithole city I live in that can find $5 billion for the Spurs, but the city's in a deficit of $150 million, and they can't fix a pothole or a street. $5 billion to rebuild or to build another stadium in the heart of downtown, which would traffic jam the whole entire downtown. I think that just where they want to put it is stupid. But we don't have the smartest people running this town anyways. Nor do we have the smartest people voting for them. But their answer is to raise more taxes. Like, I own my house, man, and just every year they just raise the taxes more and more and more, and they just mismanage the money. It's garbage, man. For the San Antonio Spurs, we just went to the finals and got their asses whipped. Real bad. They actually could have won that series. They should have won that series, but their coach sucks. When you blow a 29-point lead, that's just a sign right there. I had a game they were up by 29 points and still lost. Like, how the hell does that happen? It doesn't. Like, if you're up 29 points at halftime, that means there's 24 minutes of basketball left. So in those 24 minutes, let's see, shot clock is 24 seconds, which is half a minute. So that would give you 24 possessions per quarter, 48 possessions for the rest of the game. So let's say if you scored on at least half of those possessions, that would earn you at least, or not even half of the possessions, because that means if you scored on every possession for sure, that would be like 48 points. Okay, so let me break this down. So if you ran the shot clock to the max, you could take up 6 minutes per quarter. So that basically means that you allowed another team to come back within 12 to 15 minutes allotted time to make up 30 points. Pop wouldn't have blown the lead. You would have made them bleed the clock. I'm not a Pop fan. I mean, give him credit. You have to give him his flowers. He got 5 rings. But if you take Tim Duncan away, Pop wasn't really ever really a good coach. I think he's good to the players and people that are loyal to him. I heard he's an asshole, like in real life. If you're not like a player, he's a dick. But yeah, Pop wouldn't have let that happen for sure. Just like I said, not a Pop fan, but his record. I looked up his record. People get pissed off. I'm sorry if you're a Spurs fan. I was a Spurs fan forever until Monty retired. But yeah, without Tim Duncan, Popovich's record's losing. He's got a losing record without Tim Duncan. Like his record's like sub 500. You know, it's crazy. Do you want to know how he got his job as the coach? He was the GM of the Spurs, general manager. Bob Hill, who is a really good coach, was the Spurs coach. In that year, David Robinson got hurt. Like at the beginning of the season, he like messed up a toe or ankle or something that needed surgery. So Spurs were losing at the beginning of the year, and the Spurs didn't have Robinson, and Popovich fired Bob Hill and gave himself the job. I don't know if he did it because he knew he was going to get a number one draft pick or what, but that number one draft pick turned out to be Tim Duncan. I think in that 97 draft, the Spurs were actually projected to get the number two pick, and Boston was projected to be the number one pick. So Tim Duncan could have gone to Boston instead, and I'm pretty sure that they're still mad about that. But you know what? I'm ready for some football. Celtics fan here, hated the Knicks one, but I live in New York, so I had to stay quiet at work. Oh, that's rough, man. You probably get beat up if they found out. Yeah, Knicks fans are out of control, man. But what was it, like 60 years since their last championship? I have a friend at work out of Boston, and we talk about basketball. And I don't know what the heck Boston's doing right now. You guys just got rid of Jaylen Brown for. Did you guys trade for Paul George? Was it Paul George? I haven't really paid attention. I know the Kawhi trade to back to Toronto is getting like, um, it's like getting reviewed right now by the league. So that might not even go through. Kind of like when Chris Paul was getting traded to the Lakers, and the league stopped it. I'll tell you what, if Chris Paul would have stayed with the Spurs another year, the Spurs probably would have won this year. But I don't know. The Spurs coach. I think they picked him because Wemby wanted him. Kind of like when LeBron liked Tyrone Lue, and like they made Tyrone Lue the coach, and then LeBron just blamed everything on the coach, and, like ran him off or got him fired. But Mitch Johnson he didn't coach anything prior to the Spurs. He was an assistant coach, but before that, he was like a G League coach with a losing record. I don't understand how they hand the keys over to that guy. Like he is not a good coach. But the Spurs, they did pick up. Um, they did pick up a head assistant coach. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Is it Bradley Stevenson? He used to be the Thunder's head coach. Or is it Billy Donovan or like one of those guys? So the Spurs got some pretty good head assistants now. They know. I tell them you can try, but if I fall on you, you will hurt. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm ready for football, man. Football season. Football was fun. I remember I wanted to play football I was like a fifth grader, and my mom told me no because I was going to get hurt. And we were visiting her uncle, my great uncle's house one day, and my second cousins, they're twins, and they were younger than me, and they were already playing football. And I told my uncle Art, I was like, I want to play football. And my mom was like, no, you're gonna get hurt. And he was like, he told my mom, he's like, Sylvia, let the kid play football. And she's like, oh, okay. So then I got to play football. I started in sixth grade, and then I remember in seventh grade I broke my hand at like the second game. That sucked. I was wearing protective gloves, and a guy's face mask bar went in between the pads and broke my hand in the first quarter. And I told the coaches my hand was broken, and the coach was like, no, your hand's fine. You just bruised it, get back in the game. And I played a whole game with a broken hand. It was horrible. Like, straight up, coach, I'm hurt. No, you're not. You bruised it. Get back in there. Okay. If I would have broke it worse, I would have been needing surgery for it. But luckily, it was a hairline fracture. Like, I had to like protect my hand the whole game and not even use that arm. But yeah, that sucked. But I didn't know, like, I mean, I didn't know you could play with the broken hand with the cast. I had friends that broke hands and stuff. They got casts and they still played. I was like, man, I could have played with my cast. See, Money Mike, I appreciate you still being here. Steelers fan, not looking forward to season. Hope Ruben Brain breaks Aaron Rodgers back in week 6. Aaron will then go home to his hot wife, who I think is Pat McAfee in drag. Nice. Pat McAfee. I like Pat. He's funny. He's funny. Um, I don't really have a pro team. We're more of a college football here. I'll tell you this: we don't do Longhorn shit or Red Raider bullshit out in Lubbock. Longhorns are horrible. They're like the worst fans. UT Austin's a good school, or TU if that gives you any context clues. It's a good school. Their fans are horrible. They do have a good program. They pay their players well. They did get smart. I think they were trying to give their players Lambos instead of Dodge Chargers. So they upped the ante on that. Oh, you're smart. Money, yes. This is a maroon and white household, Giggum. Texas A&M. Mike Elko's doing a good job. He needs to fucking beat those pesky Longhorns this year. It's gonna be at Kyle Field, but you know what? People were giving him shit for losing to Miami, but that Miami team, the Hurricanes, give them credit, man. Even though Mike Irvin was annoying as hell, but that running back that they had, what was their quarterback that looked like an island boy? They used to play for Georgia. Like their island boy quarterback. He was a good game manager. He wasn't the best QB, but he played well when they needed him. Running back was good, and then you know who is crazy that I was super impressed with? Well, not only the D linemen, like the two defensive ends for Miami, which both went, I think, both went in the first round. Like that guy Bain and that other dude. But they got a superstar in the making, Malachi Tony, and I remember that kid's name, man. I think he was only 17 last year, playing for the Hurricanes. The dude's like 5'7", like maybe 150 pounds, and that guy he's like the next Sproles, man. If you guys remember Sproles, dude, like when they call him like Pocket Hercules or something, like Malachi Tony's the real deal, man. He's gonna make some money. He's gonna be in the league. Uh, all I know about Miami is that Dwayne the Rock Johnson played for them, and Notre Dame hates him. Yeah, well, Michael Irvin did played for them too. I'm pretty sure Mike Irvin was probably giving him like energy at halftime. They had lots of energy during the playoffs. But Indiana, hats off to Indiana. They broke the code in NIL. Um, they had good players, but get this. Wasn't Indiana's roster, they were like, their average age on that roster was like 24. The coach that put that team together was getting like fifth and sixth year seniors for Indiana. Like their whole team was like old. Like it could have been older than an NFL team, that Indiana roster. But I mean, they were within the rules. I mean, they did what they needed to do to win. Hats off. When you're in college, your body's going to be different from being 18 to 22 to 23, 24, 25. And they took the experience. They slapped that team together. I shouldn't say slap because that would be like me saying that they were just kind of doing stuff nilly-willy, but there was a plan behind it. They got experience, develop players that got the job done. And I wasn't a believer in Indiana, but Indiana was good. But next year it's going to be interesting. I mean, they lost their quarterback. A lot of this, I mean, I think their whole team probably had a graduate, or I don't even know if they have more eligibility. But that'll be interesting. But I know the Longhorns are getting like ranked super high again. I wouldn't doubt if they put them at number one, and then they're gonna cry when they don't make the playoffs again. Um, they do. They do. They always manage to put together pretty good teams, but um, last 10 years, like I mean, Sarkeesian. I mean, he didn't always have successful years. I mean, he had a bunch of shit years, and that was even when they were playing in the Big 12. Now they're in the SEC. But I don't think they, other than Georgia last year, I'm trying to remember if they played any, like who their hardest teams that they played in the SEC last year. It was probably A&M, and well, A&M shit like wet the bed in Austin last year. But who'd they lose to? Georgia. They lost to Florida. Like Florida was one of those like dark horse teams that either you're gonna beat them by 50 or you're gonna lose to them. Who did they lose to? Georgia. They got whooped by Georgia bad. They lost to Florida, and then yes, their first game they lost to Ohio State. But next year, I think the SEC is doing a nine conference game schedule. So nine of the games on the year, at nine out of 12 are going to be conference for SEC. So it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of good teams in the SEC again. But what I'm really interested to see is how LSU fares with their new coach, whatever his name is, the one that left Ole Miss, they got. So he left Ole Miss, and since Ole Miss made all those playoff victories, even though he wasn't the coach, he still had in his contract where he was getting paid like millions of dollars. Yeah, Archman. I mean, I make fun of my Longhorn friends that love Art. They like love Arch Manning, but I wasn't a believer in Arch Manning. He's heavily reliant on the screen. He is heavily reliant on the screen, um, but his O line was trash last year. And one thing that I did notice, there was like zero holding calls in the A&M Longhorn game. Like when the game was refed correctly, those Longhorn O linemen they just hold all game, and that was just man. A&M was getting held all game long. There was zero pressure. But Marcel Reed, man, I like him, but he's just not accurate. He's not accurate on his throws. Um, he's a hell of an athlete, but it's almost like he forces passes when he shouldn't. Just throw it away or run. But the thing is, I've noticed with running quarterbacks at A&M, it seems like when, like even like Kellen Mond, like Mond was a really good runner. He would extend plays, and then they were like, oh well, the next season would roll along. They're like, he needs to become more of a pocket passer. So in the past, when he would go, like if he was feeling pressure, he would run. You could tell like they were coaching him to stay in the pocket, and then plays weren't getting extended. He'd either throw it away or get sacked. So I think I'm seeing that with Reed now. They're basically trying to tell him not to run anymore, stay in the pocket. A&M's got a new offensive coordinator now, Colin Klein. He sucked. That guy was horrible. Thank God he's gone. I think Colin Klein's. I know Colin Klein's the reason why A&M dropped those last two. Man, that was bad. His play calling is horrendous. Literally punt. No, literally run, run, pass, punt. Passing plays on like second and goal, third and goal. You just punch it in, man. Put some 300 beefy D line in the back and just let them ram it in. But I think Manning, just for the name, he'll get drafted high. Even if he does shitty, like since he's a Manning, whatever team drafts him, they know that they're getting a name. They're gonna get publicity. They're gonna get views. So I mean, Manning's name, like if he wasn't a Manning, like there wouldn't be as much hype about him. I think half his yards last year. I remember when he was sucking really hard. Everyone's like, "Oh, he sucks," and then he had like some huge games versus like some D3 schools. When it was like I think San Jose State, and then like Sam Houston or something. Like where there was one where he ran in a touchdown and was like trying to flex over like some D2 school like guy in the end zone when they were beating him like 50-0 or something. It was bad. Manning will be more of a headache than Shador Sanders. I forgot about Shador. Huh. Yeah, he's trouble, man. He's not as loud as his daddy, but Manning family rules with iron fist and silence. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of pull there, man. Yeah, I should start stewing my steak soon. Should take well. You are correct. Yeah, I'm gonna go about 2 more minutes. I'm too close to an hour. I got 2 more minutes to an hour. And then once I hop off, I'm gonna start looking up some recipes. I could throw it on the grill. Like marinate it for a little bit, throw it on the grill, and then cube it. Or I could cube it and do skewers. That'd be kind of good. But it's so hot and humid today. Maybe I'll just make it. So we got an air fryer. I'll just air fry it. Air fry, grill, oven. We could do oven. I could chop up an onion, some carrots, some potatoes, throw it in the oven, like all together. I don't have a pot roast back though, but I'm sure there's ways you can do it. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, if it cooks too fast, it'll stay chewy. You gotta cook it low and slow, so the meat can break down and tenderize. Kind of like when people smoke meats. Forgot. I'm not really a chuck roast person. I'm more like a New York strip sirloin that I throw on the grill. My wife made some good steaks last night in the air fryer. They came out pretty good. We did baked potatoes in the air fryer, and then we did after we took the baked potatoes out, um, did some asparagus. Put a layer, like a partition, over the asparagus, and put the steaks on top of that. 4 minutes at 400 flip, 4 minutes other side, and they came out perfect. They came out really, really good. In that Ninja Crisper air fryer, came out pretty good. And that's like real food. Potatoes, asparagus, and steak, man. Like, it's not processed. That's what's all this processed food, man. That's what's making people sick. As I smoke a cigar and drink a coffee. Coffee sugar free though. Okay, so if you buy rump roast, you can relate it, but Chuck, keep in mind, keep it moist and grillers to it. Okay. Then we'll do crock pot. I think we'll do crock pot. That's gonna be the safest bet. So, with that being said, yes, I better get to it. So, dinner will be ready in 5 hours. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me for my live. And Money, I appreciate your interaction and hope you have a good day. And we'll see how the dinner turns out. We'll go from there. Cheers.